Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I made these vintage shadow ornament boxes. I'm not sure what to call them. Basically, I took the empty ornament boxes that I had after I got done making the vintage wreaths, and I thought I could make some type of like shadow box. This definitely was not my idea. I did get this idea off of Pinterest, but I was super stoked to do it. So to get started, I gathered all of the empty boxes I had to determine which ones would be the best. I figured I only probably had enough stuff to make probably one or two at the most. Now some of the boxes were not ideal because they didn't have like a big open area, so as you can see, some were ruled out right away. I decided not to go with these two bigger ones just because they were so large, and the one was standing up tall and I didn't think I had anything big enough to kind of fill them that way, so I ended up settling on the two that were more horizontal in shape. These two actually happen to be my two favorite boxes as well. They think they look the most old to me, but in the future maybe I will do more like taller ones with some different things. So I tried very hard to thrift for trees and I just had no luck this year, so I finally had to break down and buy these from my dollar store, which weren't too expensive. I was hoping to find a bigger bag at like a department store, but everyone is sold out. But while I was at the dollar store, I found these tiny little ornaments, and I think that I will be able to make my own version of like a vintage bottle brush tree, which is what I was hoping that I was going to be able to thrift, but I've just had no luck in the 2 years since I've been looking. So this is something I bought as well from a local department store. It's actually a hardware store. But this fireplace with this like vintage looking Santa coming down the chimney, I thought would be perfect, and it didn't come with like any additional plastic packaging, which I was happy about. So I decided to go ahead and buy it. It was only $5 and I actually got it for free because I had like enough points to pay for it. And then I also have quite a few rolls of vintage wrapping paper, which I thought could make a really good backdrop for it. I especially love this green and white one that's actually still in the plastic. I've thrifted that a couple of years ago just for $1, which is super exciting. I'm not sure how old this red and green one is. This might not be like that old, maybe like 80s or 90s, but I still really like the pattern, so yeah. Alright, so then I have this big bin that I keep a bunch of kind of scraps and different things that I think I might be able to reuse at some point. Different like ribbons and ornaments and just a bunch of different random things. Basically, I just don't like throwing anything away, and I always think maybe I can reuse something. So I kind of pulled out the pieces that I thought maybe I could use in the shadow boxes. Sometimes I'll like cut stuff off of other things. This was just given to me for free by one of my old coworkers because they couldn't sell it. So I thought I would start off by fashioning some bottle brush trees. So before I started gluing them, I thought I would just have a bit of a arranging kind of look at things. It didn't really work out that well because the tree was just falling and everything was falling out of it, but so I decided I should just go ahead and start gluing it in. I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out. It actually turned out better than I thought it was going to. I was really unsure about the star, but I ended up going with it. So then I got to work cutting out my wrapping paper to fit inside the box. I went with the green and white one in this bigger box. This one is actually my favorite box, and that is the one that I determined I was going to put like a fireplace in and the tree and kind of make it look like it was kind of a peek into someone's living room. So I was just really kind of playing around with things for a bit. I had some presents that I had ripped off of another thing, but then I realized that it would actually look better if the fireplace wasn't in the center. That way you could kind of see the fireplace and the tree, so that is what I just did there when I ripped everything out and started over. So maybe just make sure that you're very sure and put the lid back on before you start gluing anything. That would be my advice. A Also, I don't know if you could tell from the footage, but I had put some like empty tea light candle holders on the bottom of my things just to lift them up a little bit so that you could really see once you had the lid back on that everything wasn't like down too low, essentially. Okay, so then it was time to get started on the next one. So the next box had like a damage to the front of it, so I was thinking, oh, I could glue this ribbon over that place, but it just ended up not working out, and so I just ripped the plastic out. And actually I prefer it with the plastic out, so I'm thinking about even ripping the plastic out of the other one. It seems like you could get like a clearer photo. So I decided to use a tree and a dancing Santa and a snowman for this one, and I used a different wrapping paper. And because the plastic was out, I was actually able to put the kind of Santa coming out of the box, so he kind of sticks out a little bit, and I actually really liked that look a lot. And I did the same thing where I used like kind of things at the bottom to kind of lift them up higher. And the tree, I just wrapped a piece of scrap ribbon around to kind of make it seem like it was sort of decorated. I don't know. I also just glued a little flocked bird over top of the snowman and the tree that I had just cut off of something else. I really actually love the way that they turned out. They actually turned out better than the hot air one too. I think the one with the fireplace is my favorite. I just love how it looks. I feel like the fireplace was like the perfect thing. I'm super glad that I found it. And then with the tree, I don't know. I don't know if you can tell, but I did have a little tiny wreath that I cut off of something, and I put that above the fireplace, and I don't know, it just looks really nice to me. So I'm super excited I was able to reuse like so much of this stuff that would have otherwise been pretty much garbage. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon.